Hi, girlies. Before the episode starts, I want to let you know I'm on tour. Come see me live. I'm going to be in possibly your city. I'm going to be in Portland, Oregon, May 16th to the 18th, and Nashville, Tennessee, July 25th and 26th. If you don't hear your email on this one, there's a good chance we wrote it on the Patreon. If you want to come find us at the Feelin Girlie Patreon, link in the bio. Love ya. Bye.
If I was a girl, I'd run the city, kissing boys in the street, hiking up my mini. Back in high school, would have been the girl to beat. Football player's number on my cheek, cheating on him with his best friend Pete. Small town moms calling me fast, but I rode him slow in the backseat. It would have been a blast, feeling girly and Shirley. You know all of this is made up, cause I'm just a gay guy who's a little high, feeling a little girly, feeling a little girly.
Welcome to Feelin Girlie. I'm your host, Dylan Carlino. Hi, girls. Welcome to Feelin Girlie. I'm your host, Dylan Carlino. We are here on a gorgeous Tuesday afternoon because Josh and Ariel refused to move dates. No, I'm just kidding. Very last minute, I was like, can we do tomorrow? And I think it's only because I've been taking melatonin at night. And because I couldn't sleep the night before, I just got back from my shows in Indiana. Thank you to everybody who came out to the shows. Indiana sucks, and it kind of does. Like, there was really nothing the whole time I was in Indianapolis. I was like downtown, but like they don't have like a cool downtown, so it was all like there was just nothing to do. Like, I really had a hard time like even finding coffee shops. It was definitely a hotel centric weekend. A beautiful hotel. They had me at the Westin. It really, really nice. I was like, oh well, I can deal with this. Gorgeous gym. They had a Peloton at there, so I was Pelotoning every single day. I was doing Taylor Swift rides, and it made me feel so good. But the night before I left, I couldn't sleep, and I ended up like my flight, which I don't know why I do this to myself, and I wonder if you guys do this too. My future self, I always think, well, he can wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to make his flight. Dylan on Sunday after performing all weekend, yeah, he'll get up, no worries. And then it's Sunday night, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to wake up at 5 o'clock I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to head to the airport. And then I don't know if you guys are like this, but I have like bad sleep problems where I can stay asleep, but I cannot fall asleep. I have a very hard time falling asleep. And then whatever, I got on Grindr. Like, I didn't even get Well, I didn't. Well, I'll tell you what happened. This is the last night, but like we have actually had issues the entire time I was in Indiana. But the last night I couldn't sleep, and I didn't even get back to my hotel room until like midnight. And then my feature, who is actually a good friend of mine, Tori, she's like, can I come up to your room and like ask you questions about social media? And I was like, yeah, of course. So then by the time she left, and then I had to order food and nothing to eat at Sunday at 11:30 o'clock at night. So I ordered Jack in the Box. Not feeling very cute right now. Yeah, I ordered. Although I will say about Jack in the Box, and people don't know this, they have probably the best chicken tenders out of all of the fast food chains.
Really?
Yeah, they are delicious. But you know what? They're really bad when you order off DoorDash because No, the chicken tenders aren't bad. It's that if you request multiple different kinds of sauces, whatever you requested, you're getting one. And this is across the country. And by across the country, I mean I did it once here in Austin and once in Indiana. And both times they did not send me sweet and sour sauce because I'm a sweet and sour sauce type of person. I don't want ranch. I want honey mustard and sweet and sour sauce. And that's who I am. And guess what? They sent me 19 honey mustards, no sweet and sour. I would rather have more sweet and sour sauce than honey mustard. Anyways, so it's midnight. I finally get everything packed up. I get on Grindr, and there's a guy on there, no face picture, and his name is Straight DL Oral. And I go, that sounds fun. He's in the hotel next to mine, and so he's like, do you want to come over and like jerk off with me? And I'm like, is this bad that I'm saying all this? I don't care. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll come over. He sends me like one picture of his like, he has like a big dick, and I was like, okay, I'll go over. And so I go over and I get to his room, and he like all of the lights are shut off when I get there, which is like such a bad sign. Yeah, so I could like barely see his face. And then I was like jerking off with him, and then all of a sudden it was like oh, he didn't send his actual dick pic. Like, this is like his dick, whatever. Everyone's beautiful, but like, this was not the cock in the photo. You know what I mean? And so then I just made myself come, and then I walked back to the hotel. By the way, we had an incredible show Sunday night. Thank you to everybody that came out. I don't know why I do this to myself, and I was walking home thinking to myself, why do I do this to myself? Why do I get myself in these situations? Anyways, now it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I have to be up at 5. So what do you do? Oh, I'll stay up until 4:30. Huge mistake. And so then I hit like 2:45 a.m. and I go, I'm just going to take a little cat nap, sleep for an hour and a half, and then get up and go to the airport, and traveled all day yesterday. And so then I came here and I slept all afternoon. And then we went out to dinner last night, and then last night I took a bunch of melatonin, and then I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, and I was like, I don't really feel good. Also, I have a canker sore on the back of my tongue, so I'm like, not feeling cute. You know what I mean? And so then I tried to change the recording date, and Josh and Ariel said, absolutely not. You are not a priority to us. Josh said he works for a different podcast, and he said they are a priority for him, and that's because they're straight. And then and it's really fucked up. And also, Josh shamed me this morning.
You deserved it.
No.
What was it?
Because, like, God forbid a boy posts a picture of him in his boxers on a bed trying to sell tickets to his fucking shows in Des Moines, and Josh immediately messages me and says, what the fuck is this?
He posted it.
Oh, I didn't see it.
No, yeah, well, that's good. He posted a photo of white t-shirt down to his groin area, caption with the ticket sales on the groin, and said, Des Moines, come and see me. I said, Dylan, what the hell is this?
And I felt shame, and I deleted it immediately. And
I'm a good friend for doing that, by the way.
But
a bad friend would have let you keep that up.
You know what, though? Here's what I'll say. I actually disagree, because I think it's one of those situations where it's like, is this embarrassing for my comedian friends to see? Yes. Are my comedian friends buying tickets? No. So your opinion doesn't matter. And you know what? I actually posted a second. I deleted it because I felt embarrassed. And you know what? I thought it was really classy because I didn't post my actual bulge in the photo. I thought I was like covering it up with the words Des Moines. And so I thought maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll just be cute and funny. And by the way, in the 2 minutes that it was up, multiple gay men messaged me being like, spread your legs. Like they were into it. Anyways, and then all of a sudden Josh messages me, and he made me feel so bad about myself. I thought, God, I must be disgusting for posting something like this, and I deleted it. And then I posted a different one with me just showing my arm and flexing my arm and saying, come get tickets to Des Moines. And then in the caption, I wrote, one of my comedian friends shamed me about posting a picture of me in my boxers. And some girl messaged me, and she goes, no offense, but is the comedian friend doing better than you? And she goes, because if not, maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about. And and she goes, and I didn't just say that so you'd repost. But I read it, and I did read that, sweetheart. So if you're watching this, you're a tier 2 girl. Welcome to the tier 2 and tier 1 girls of the podcast, by the way. They've been really identifying themselves with the show, and I really appreciate that. And I thought to myself, is Josh doing better than me? I really did. I considered it for a second. I said, is Josh doing better than me? I would say we're equals.
No, I think you're better. You're doing way better. What are you talking about? You got 2 million followers. I had to cancel a show in San Diego because I sold 1 ticket.
Oh my God, is that true? You canceled?
I did cancel.
Okay, guys, please support Josh. He needs it so bad, even though he spends his time shaming me.
I was looking out for you.
I know, but I actually, and you know what's funny? Sometimes I do get a little horned up, and I think I'll post a little picture of my bulge on my thing, because it attracts in gay guys.
Now here's the question. This is the thing that you have to ask yourself: is that the attention you want? Because I think you're fun. Here's the thing: I'm challenging you. I think that you're funny enough that you don't need to post. You don't need to thirst trap for these ticket sales. You're funny enough that you're.
Well, I'm just trying to get people to Des Moines. Honey, it's just low ticket sales in Des Moines. I'm just trying. God forbid a boy's trying to sell some tickets in Iowa. I was gonna post a picture, and you know what?
You know what you should do is if you're going Iowa, that's the wrong approach.
What? I'm gonna show the picture on here. And I'm going to show the on bulge. So
you're going to go full bulge?
On this. I'll just do it into the camera. But because I actually do think it was a cute pic.
It was a cute pic.
And just so that, because I feel like this will be a podcast exclusive. Okay. I actually do think this is cute. But it's nothing crazy. But the bulge was not on Instagram. So no one get mad at me. But this was the pic.
Wait, let me focus it. Okay, bring it way closer. Lower it. Wait.
Okay, can they see?
Yeah.
But the bulge wasn't in there.
Now imagine it says Des Moines right on his balls.
But by the way, like I was even looking at it, and part of me wanted to just post it because my legs looked. You have to admit, my legs looked fucking insanely good. And so yeah, I wanted to share. And by the way, I don't know. I think sometimes, and this isn't towards you, but I was thinking about it because this all happened this morning, and I really was thinking about this because so many straight comics, I think, are so opposed to doing that, being like, because honestly, if you guys did it, nobody would care. And so they think it's like low hanging fruit, not you. Oh, is the camera wrong?
Yeah, you're good. No, you're good.
So I think they think it's a bad idea. But I was thinking about this and I was like, well, who's my audience? It's gay guys and women. And no offense, women, but like you guys some of them are offering to have sex with me after the show. So I think they do want to see this. I mean, I get messages from women being like, I'm in love with you. I want to have sex with you. I'm like, you're crazy. But yeah, it's fine. We actually did have, so yeah, I didn't post. So you guys just saw the bulge pic. Maybe I'll post it on the Instagram. But if you guys want a better view, can I say something funny? Actually, that was one of my OnlyFans posts because I don't do OnlyFans like that, but I did the OnlyFans, which will come out, I think, next week. I did the comedy show. So they do like a special 10 minutes. But you have to have an OnlyFans page to actually do it. And you're supposed to be posting 3 times a week. And immediately I was like, well, I'm just going to post like bulge pics for the gay guys that follow me. But then already I've fallen off. I've stopped posting there completely, which means I'm not going to get the bonus, which I don't even think I'm supposed to talk about, but I could not care less. I'm like, they want you to post 3 times a week for 6 months so they can give you an extra $2,000. I'm like, nah, I literally would rather eat it. And I know that some of you guys are thinking like, well, I wouldn't. Well, it's like, well, then you do it. You start an OnlyFans and don't complain to me. I don't want it. Okay. Anyways, is that really out of touch to say I won't fight for $2,000 for 6 months? I guess actually think about 6 months of work and you get $2,000.
Yeah.
That's not actually a good deal.
No, it's not a good deal at all. And especially with your platform.
Yeah. It's like, it's just not worth it.
No, that's, you'd lose money doing that.
Yeah, I lose money doing OnlyFans because I'm a fucking slob. Josh is like, you do OnlyFans, you lose money.
Dylan's twisting everything, by the way. I'm looking out for him. Just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen.
Josh is feeling very insecure because he shaved his head. He thought he was going to look hotter.
I did. That's so true.
So fun. We did have a situation in Indiana I wanted to talk about. So the first show when I got there, once again, got to Indiana, immediately it was like, this is bad. And with the first show, the club is in like a mall that has nothing going on in it. And it also was like prom season. So there was like a lot of really gorgeous, like 18-year-old girls walking around in like floor length gowns. Aww. And yeah, and I will have to say, like, I didn't see a lot of like stunners, you know what I mean? Like, not face wise, like there was a lot of really pretty girls, but like I didn't see a lot of really gorgeous dresses. Like when I was seeing, sometimes I look at girls and I think like if I was in prom, I wouldn't be wearing a dress like that. But that's just me. It just isn't who I am. There was one girl who had this gorgeous black one on that I was like, that's so great. But anyways, I get to the club and all the shows are sold out. So thank you guys so much for coming. But let's say this. If you are going to bring, I love it when you guys bring your boyfriends. There were so many boyfriends of girls who sat there and had the best time and laughed there was a guy on Sunday, I can't remember his name, but he was front row with his girlfriend, and he was one of the best laughers. You know when you just get a good laugher at a comedy show? Killing it. If your boyfriend is like a negative person who's not going to have fun, don't bring him. So, because on the first night we had this guy, Steve, and I got there and him and his girlfriend are sitting front row, but she's like kind of off to the side and I can see him more than her. And so what do? I ask him, obviously, are you gay? I know he's not gay because he's here with a girl and he doesn't look gay, but I do a whole thing. I'm ribbing him. You know what I mean? I'm saying like, oh, I'm calling him gay, whatever. I do this to straight guys every single night. Immediately, he gets so weird, and then he's glaring at me for the rest of the show. Already, the show was, and this is not their fault. That first show was like one of the bad shows, and I said that on stage. I go, "This is the bad show." And I go, and it's great, because they were like very uptight. It was 7 p.m. It was, I don't know what was going on, but like they were getting offended. It was a weird show. And people were yelling out, "Girls, thank you so much for coming," but they are yelling out at the shows. It drives me nuts. Anyways, so halfway through the show, we're like 30 minutes in. And the only saving grace to this show was that a girl in the front row in where I was standing looked exactly like Nikki Glaser, and to the point where like, and she was laughing so hard that like I was like doing so poorly on the show. The only thing that was getting me through is looking at this girl in the front row and being like, Nikki Glaser is secretly here laughing at you. That is the only thing that got me through the show. And she did something. So then this guy Steve, he's glaring at me the whole show. So halfway through, I kind of look over at him and I go, "Oh, Steve, like, what do you do for work?" Because like I'm just trying to like liven you up a little bit. And he's like, "Don't worry about it."
Oh my God.
I go, "Oh no, you're not at some random local comedy show where there's a million different comedians. Like, you guys bought tickets to come see me. You're not gonna sit in the front row and be disrespectful." He goes, "I don't want to be here." I go, "Oh, that's great." I go, "You can leave." I go, "There's no problem with you leaving. You can get up and go right now." And he's like, "No," he's like, "Well, sorry, but like I missed my daughter's soccer game to be here." It's like, okay, well, one, it's 7 p.m. So who's playing soccer at 7 p.m.? And two, but he was like pissed saying this. Like, you could tell that the entire time he's watching me on stage, he's thinking like, I missed my daughter's soccer game to me. And I think I said to him like, "It's not my fault. You're a bad dad." And, whatever. So but like he was like, the only reason we're here, he had this whole speech about the only reason he's here is because she loves you and blah, 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 like all this stuff. There's like, sorry. ADHD. Could you see that on the camera? There was like a little piece, like almost like a little baby feather going right here. And I was like, oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, Steve, he gave me this whole speech about how he doesn't want to be here. The only reason he's here is because she loves you, and all that. Like, I missed my daughter's soccer game for this, and I was like, oh, I tried to be like handle it as best as possible, but like his little speech, and this has not happened to me. I think they said to him like, well, like you can leave, you have no problem being here, and obviously his girlfriend's uncomfortable, and there was just something about it that was like the way he said it. I've been doing stand-up comedy for 10 years. I have never felt this way. It like made me insecure on stage, like, because it got like weird. I was already not doing great. Like, it wasn't like I was bombing, but it was a work. Like, sometimes you're on stage and you're killing and you're like, this is a dream come true. And sometimes you're up there and you're like, this is work. I'm working. Like, these people bought tickets. I'm doing my job. Like, that's all it is. And that's one of these shows. But his little speech made me feel so insecure, and I've never felt insecure on stage, I think, in the whole 10 years, and I still have 25 minutes to go. And so then for the rest of the show, and I told them like, you can leave or whatever, and they didn't want to, and well, I'm sure he wanted to, but I considered having them kicked out, but I was looking at her and like the anger coming from him. And I even said like, oh, I get it. Like, cause I used to be your daughter. I used to be at my soccer games being like, where's my dad? So I totally understand your anger. Cause she probably didn't notice that you're not there. But, I was just at that point, I was like also pissed at him.
Make it work.
Yeah. But like, it's also my fucking show.
No, he deserved it. Yeah.
The vibe that was coming from him was like, oh, because this isn't for him, or maybe because I called him gay or something. Something in him was activated where he just wanted to make me feel bad, and it worked, which is so annoying that I let it work. But then for the rest of the show, I was just like telling my jokes, but like almost kind of telling them shittily, because I was thinking to like, I was almost embarrassed by the material, because then all of a sudden every time I brought up something that was it was just like, he was just like a reflection of like, he doesn't want to be here. It was almost kind of like your silly little gay show. It made me feel so bad. And so I ended up, I don't know, I was gonna kick them out, but like the type of anger that he had, the whole time I was looking at them, I was like, this girl is going to be screamed at when she gets into the car. Like there is no way I could humiliate. I was like doing my jokes while also thinking. That's something you guys probably don't know. When you're on stage, you're performing, but you're having in the back of your head a full different conversation about what's going on. It's like honestly one of the most trippiest things I've ever experienced. And I'm doing my jokes, but the whole time I'm thinking like I can kick them out, but I could humiliate him in front of a room full of women. The only person that he's going to take that anger out on is his girlfriend right next to him. And I just didn't want to make the situation any worse because I already know she's about to have the worst night of her life after they leave their show because he is pissed. There's no way they're not getting in the car and he's not screaming at her. So then whatever, I finished the show and afterwards everyone that came up to me, I was like, I was like such a dick to so many people. I was like, I really apologize. They're like, no, he deserved it, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I was like, all right, great. Everybody agreed, but I apologize to every single person that came up to me. I was like, normally it's a lot more fun. This was crazy. So fuck Steve. And if you're dating Steve and you listen to this podcast, your boyfriend sucks and you're not happy. And I could tell by the look on your face. And then what are you at time-wise?
19.
Oh, great. 20. And so then the second show, this is so funny. And this will be a shout out to my tier 2 girl, Allison, who was there, who brought all of her friends. She is so funny. Was sitting in the middle of the room and was yelling out a lot. And then a lot, Allison. Allie, I love you. And she came up to me afterwards and she was like, I'm so embarrassed. She goes, I brought all of my friends here and I made them listen to the podcast episode when you talked about what happened in Raleigh with the girls yelling out. She's like, and her friend's like, she yelled at us about stand-up comedy etiquette. And she goes, and then you got on stage and I lost my mind. I was like, I get it. I was like, it was like, she was doing it out of love or whatever. And she was so excited that it was like, what am I going to do? Yell at you? Like, it's fine. At one point she kept yelling out and she was like, I said something about if I was a girl. And I was like, if I was a girl, I was like, what's your name? She's like, oh, Allison. I was like, if I was a girl, my name would be Allison. And I would talk during a comedy show. But yeah, that was another thing. One of the shows, the late show, I was like, oh yeah, I don't really do the if I was a girl live. And you just heard like every single girl go like, oh. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I've been doing stand-up for 10 years. You're just going to get that. I feel like I'm ranting a lot about the shows, but it was just a lot. But side note, I did meet these 2 gay guys who actually ended up taking me out and was like, come out with us. And I was like, okay. So we went out to a private club and they, just a normal club, not like a gay sex club or anything like that. But Alex and Justin, they were incredible. And then they brought us to all the gay bars and they brought us to like 3 different gay bars and the gay bars were popping, like going on, like they were going nuts. And at one of the gay bars, all these guys started coming out to me and they were all like looking at me and I was like, oh, I'm such an arrogant fuck. I'm like, they recognize. I'm like, fame's really everywhere. I will say the amount of people that came up to me at the gay bars were like, they were like, oh, I can't believe you're here. I'm like, I can't believe I'm here either, chica. I got to get out of Indiana. But no, then all these 4 gay guys, they were all like doing this thing where they were like talking to each other and they'd be like, and I'm like, oh, I'm scared. And then they all came over and approached me, these 4 guys. And I was like, oh my God. They're about to be like, we want a picture or something. And they're like, what's your name? And I was like, Dylan. And they were like, what do you do? And I was like, oh my God, they want to have sex with me. I have to leave. I was like, I can't do this. But yeah, I had a wonderful time. Other than that, I guess I'm complaining about how bad it was. I didn't have a great time. But the shows were really fun. If you were at any of the Saturday shows or Sunday shows, you guys were my favorites. Friday, really step it up next time. There were girls who came from Canada. They drove from Canada to come to the show. 4 hours.
That's so
Yeah,
cute.
they talked throughout the whole show. Really was just crazy. Should we move on to emails?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, I feel like 20 minutes in. We should do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just we're gonna just jump right at. Is anything making you feel girly this week, Ariel?
This new jacket. See, it's bedazzled. Isn't
It's
it
very
cute?
Ariana Grande.
Oh my God.
Show the jacket to the
Is
camera.
Yeah, come over again.
Should I get over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Sorry.
course. We love that.
We love it.
Hello. Okay.
Can you see it?
Ooh.
Oh, gorge.
Ooh, there it
Georgina.
is.
There it is.
Urban Outfitters.
Say
I know we honestly might as well just start bringing the second camera just to have on Ariel anyways.
Yeah.
We'll just figure that out.
She's a fan favorite.
Yeah, she is a fan favorite. They love her. Okay, great. So just the new jacket. Anything else? Anything happen for your guys this weekend?
I fell down the stairs.
No, Ariel. You fell down the stairs? How many?
Like 5 or 6.
And I yelled like a...
And I broke a nail.
And I screamed like a child.
Oh my god.
It happened right in front of me.
Yeah, he couldn't even help me.
She was falling. She was like 10 feet in front of me.
Obviously not
I was leaving the room, and then as I like approached the top stair, I watched her like bounce her ass off of like 7 stairs.
It's so
down.
weird, like fall, like you can't do anything. You can't stop. Like you know
just
what I
have to
mean?
fall.
You just have to fall.
You're
Yeah.
trying to grab stuff, nothing works.
She
Like,
got
I know.
from it too.
yeah,
I know there's
it's-
something
yeah.
so traumatic about falling.
Yeah.
Where you go like, if I hadn't fallen, everything would have been fine, and now it's not. You know what I mean?
She started falling, and I went, "Oh my god!" and by the way, we have a housemate, and he's a Navy SEAL, and he was just sitting on the couch, and he heard
He was
me
like,
yell
"Are
like
you
that.
okay?"
He heard me scream like a child.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't imagine you being the most helpful in a combat situation.
What are we talking? I'm locked in. I just shaved my head. I'll run 4 miles. I'll run 4 miles.
That does nothing when your girlfriend falls on the stairs.
No, it was fine. I assessed the wounds. Everything was okay.
Everything's fine. Yeah.
And
Okay.
then she made a joke that she was going to tell people I pushed her down the stairs. And I went, "Don't do that."
And
Oh,
now he just said it anyway.
Yeah, well, I was like, "But that's not funny."
wait, so this is so incredible. I'm so sorry they fell on the stairs, but I saw a really good email and I was like, oh, I really want to read this. All right, this email is called "Boyfriend Wants an MMF Threesome." Male, female, which you guys know is my favorite. Hi, girly. Quick question. Is it poor taste for couples to search MMF threesomes on Grindr? I know some gay men are into it, so I want to, at the very least, watch my man with another man. We've had MMF threesomes in the past, and it was hot, but cocaine was involved, and he couldn't get or stay hard. We don't fuck around with drugs anymore and rarely drink nowadays, and we want to give it another shot. But would it be in poor taste for him to make a Grindr about it? It was my idea, and I haven't talked to him about making one yet, but I feel like it would be wrong for me to make one, so he'd have to do it and talk to the men, because if we were to bring a gay man into it, they'd have to be super into him, so I don't know. Any advice on how to go about living out this sexual fantasy with my partner? Thank you. Love you and the pod so much. Excited to see you in Portland, and proud tier 1 girly. Okay, thank you very much. Not much of a picture taker because I'm not Gorgina like other girls, but my man makes me feel hot and I'm chill with that. Bottom picture is of me on the right and my best friend on the left, because apparently I only take pictures with other people. Okay. Oh, your boyfriend's really cute. Oh my god. No, you are Gorgina. Okay, don't say that about yourself. You are Gorgina. That's, you guys have to have, we don't have low self-esteem girls. No, the only girl with low self-esteem on this podcast is me. Okay, so you're not allowed to do that. Your boyfriend does look bi, which he must be. Okay, is it in poor taste whenever I see couples on Grindr looking for MMF, which you do see that sometimes? I always assume that it's just a lie from the man who's trying to hook up with another guy. If you guys are to go the Grindr route, which I don't think it's in bad taste. I just don't think it's your best option. Whenever I see that, number one, I don't think you should ever let your man have a Grindr account unless you want him cheating on you, because you think that he's going to be posting he's a bisexual straight guy looking for MMF, and then he has control of talking to all these guys who are going to be asking to suck his cock when you're not there, because that's what's going to happen. Because guess what? When I see MMF on Grindr, I think, oh, I know the man's talking. I'll go ahead and message, and we'll see if she's around today. And if she's not, maybe we'll hang out. But that doesn't actually happen, because it's always like, honestly, it's a lot of times it's like gross people on there looking for MMF. It also just seems like a lie a lot of the times when you're on there. But I don't think it's in poor taste. I just think you're not going to get the good quality guys that you're looking for. And on Grindr, anybody can message your account. So you're going to be fielding a lot of like really gross like drug addicts looking for that kind of stuff. Not to feel like bad, but like there's a lot of drug addicts in Grindr, because it's like, you know, drug addicts love sex, and that's what Grindr's all about. I would recommend that you guys, if you guys haven't tried it already, downloading Field. It originally was called Thrinder. It's a threesome app, and you can put all of your sexualities. You can be heteroflexible, homoflexible. You can be gay, straight, pan, anything on there. And the interface isn't super great, but it's great for meeting up with people who are looking to have threesomes, especially. There's a lot of couples looking, and you can link as a couple and both use it to find the right type of partner. I wouldn't use Grindr just because you're going to get low quality men. And there are some real uggos on Field, but there's also, let's just be real, there's gross people everywhere. You can't escape gross people looking for sex. That is something that will be all over America and everywhere because everybody deserves to have sex, gross or not. So I would say use Field. I don't think it's in poor taste. I just think you're going to be dealing with a lot of things you don't really want to be dealing with. But yeah, you and your boyfriend are both Corgina. Yeah, I'll see you in Portland. I'm so excited. And if you hear this before this and you guys do it, please tell me at the Portland shows. Okay. Oh my God. Sometimes you guys send such long emails. Okay, but I don't care. This one is Macked on Evil Man Can't Stop Crying. Hi, Dylan. I'm a tier 2 girly. I love your podcast and watch them religiously at this point. Please have a student discount for the Patreon because $5 times 6 months is $60 per year and I make $10 an hour. Okay. Hey, I'm going to be real with you. $5 a month is also like 2 cents a day. Not even like $5 a month is really not. I'm not going to lower a student discount. $5 a month is less than 1 cup of coffee out a month. Like it's like, no, you can afford $5. You don't have to buy the full $60 all at once. Don't ask for, that's crazy, right? You don't have to pay $60 up front. It's like layaway. It's for poor people. You can do $5 a month.
Next question.
Yeah, like honey, you're lucky that I scrolled down, saw the pictures, and saw that one of the guys was cute in the pictures. At this point, asking for free memberships, you're lucky I'm even reading this, you tier 2 bitch. Okay? No, you know I love my tier 2 girls. But listen, maybe instead of, this is America, you want a discount, maybe you should work harder, okay? You can't afford $5 a month. Also, what job is paying you $10 an hour? I mean, that's bad. You can why don't you start waiting tables? You can make a lot more money than that, and you'll be making hundreds of dollars every single night. So it's not my job to help you make more money, but you should. Unless you're like really young. I need more Dylan content, but I also need to buy tampons and maxi skirts, please. Well, the tariffs, use code names, don't reveal anything. I'm secretive. Yeah, well, I will never be giving you a discount, but I am so happy you're here. Oh, already you're about to get roasted up for this email. It starts with, it was pouring rain. Just give me the facts.
So there I was.
So there I was on a long, dusty road. It was pouring rain. This is going to be so bad. And she's probably hating me now, and that's fine. It was pouring rain, and we were walking back from a party we got kicked out of because one of our friends threw up in the sink. It was me. Sorry, it was me, my roommate, Amanda, her boyfriend, Tyler, and Mason. My girlfriends and I have been hanging out with these 2 guys, Mason and Derek, since October of the past year. I don't consider myself a major part of the friend group, but I do hang out with them quite a bit. Anyways, I have been somewhat a friend to Mason, even though I've always thought he was kind of mangy scoundrel, but in an endearing way. At least what I thought. When my friends are talking to their boyfriends and hanging out, we frequently get left alone together, and I thought he was a safe face. Quickly, also, just to say about the Patreon, some girl came up to me at the shows and was like, sorry, I can't afford the Patreon. And I was like, and she had driven 4 hours, got a hotel room, and bought tickets. And I was like, you spent more money doing this than you did. The Patreon's $5 a month, and you like got a hotel room, you drove 4 hours and bought a $30 ticket. That actually is more than the 6 months on the Patreon. So I just thought of that when that was happening. But okay, back to this long email. 6 months ago, Amanda and I had a conflict at Derek's apartment that ended in Amanda yelling at me. We've worked it out since. I started crying and went to leave, but Mason insisted I didn't go and followed me out. He tried to comfort me in the elevator and hugged me and walked me outside for a while. I was super obsessed. I was never super obsessed with him or anything, but there were times throughout the year where I thought he was slightly attractive. Recently, I got a plane ticket to England because one of my friends goes to school there. Oh, you can afford a plane ticket to England, but you can't pay $5 a month. Okay. Recently, I just spent $1,000 to go to England, but I can't give you $5 a month for your Patreon, and I'll beg for a discount. Okay. But I really wanted to go traveling around, specifically to Paris. That's a really cheap city. Maybe they can give you a student discount. When I told Mason about this, he told me he was actually going to be in Paris staying with his friends at the same time. I would be in Europe, and even though he was going to offer me a place to stay with them, I thought this was kind of crazy, and we aren't even that close, and I don't want to be his friend. But he insisted that he would ask, and even if it didn't work out, he said that we should meet up and do stuff in Paris together. I wasn't sure if this was actually going to happen, but he said he wanted to plan once finals were over, and my friend said I should stay with him, so whatever. I thought he was friendly, but he's always been kind of a slut. Sorry, I don't believe in slut shaming, but slut stating. Okay, I agree, I'm also a slut. Because he kissed two of our other friends before, which you guys don't know what sluts are, okay? Which of Derek's current girlfriend. Anyways, Friday night, we went out to this house show and ended up not being that fun because one of our friends drank too much and got sick, and so we got kicked out. It was really stressful, and there ended up being a big conflict between Derek and Mason, but by the next day, they worked it out. Since Mason and Derek had a conflict that night, Amanda, her boyfriend Mason, and I stayed at Tyler's apartment for the night instead of Derek's. A lot of names. We talked about that the night and watched TV for a bit. Mason was sitting right next to me and was frequently touching me in really discreet ways, which happened before. Not in a creepy way. After Amanda and Tyler left the room to go to bed, Mason is literally coddling my knees while Tyler's other two roommates are in the room. After they leave, I'm like, I want to go to sleep. The last time we were both slept in the living room, I was on the couch and he was on the super comfy beanbag. So this time, no beanbag is super comfy. Also, I'm like, when is the story going to start? But so this time I was like, fuck you, I want the beanbag. This man literally starts fighting me for the beanbag. We're both laying on the beanbag, but our heads are on opposite sides of it. What? With this sticky up dog's face. For some mentally ill reason, I thought he liked me, and I wanted to pursue him, so I decided to turn around and lay side to side with him. He responded positively and ended up spooning me. Yeah, men aren't that easy. Men aren't that hard. You can just be like, I want to hook up with you, and they'll do it. He responded positively and ended up spooning me. Suddenly, I had that scary feeling like, oh shit, if I turn my head right now, bro is going to start macking on me. This ended up happening, and he actually is kind of a bad kisser. Why so loud? I'm a very forgiving girl, but at that point, I was so tired I couldn't deal with that and made our kisses quite brief. I thought this is long, right? Mm-hmm. I know. We're just going to finish it because you're in trouble. And I think he thought that I was going to go further than that and started kissing my neck and told me, use your words, in a very presumptuous tone that was just like scary, you know? Yeah, so I used my words to actually say I kind of wanted to go to sleep because God forbid a girl likes to cuddle. I slept kind of horribly in the next morning. Oh, really? On the comfy beanbag? Let's see. And this is so, it's almost over. I slept kind of horribly, and the next morning he started, I have to read this for everybody, sweetheart. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not to be disrespectful, but like, I mean, we are 5 paragraphs in and nothing's happened. Like this isn't Letterbox. Okay. I don't even know what that is. This isn't fanfic. What's happening? I'm like, yeah, something juicy better happen or I'm going to snap. I slept kind of horribly in the morning and started saying all this coy shit like, no matter what happens, let's just keep it cool and not awkward. I'm like, what? If you don't want it to be awkward, then don't make it awkward. What are you going to do? Also, he asked me specifically not to tell anyone, especially my roommates. I should have just left that apartment because he sounded like smelly frat boy and all the things he was saying next to me. He doesn't want you to tell people that you guys kissed. I mean, like, it's just a kiss. It's not like he fingered you. The next day, Derby Day. What is Derby Day? Oh, Derby Day. We all go to the Derby. The horses are running. So, by the way, if she's not a tier 1 girl now, she'll never be. The horses are running, so we must day drink. Except Mason barely talks to me, and I thought it was because he was awkward. Later on, I texted him about what was going on during that, saying nothing Nothing going on. He could ever come over to my place to hang out. I don't think I worded this text 100% right. You didn't word this email 100% right. But if he chronically online asked, would I have responded to my last text asking him when this responded to every other one almost immediately? No response. I started freaking out because I feel violated. I wanted to at least have a conversation with him so I wouldn't have this feeling. I'm sorry. Wasn't there just a kiss on a bing bag?
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's happening either. I'm going to look. So remember when he specifically said not to tell anyone? Sunday comes and everyone and their mother knows. Mason tattled. I was quiet about it because I feel really insecure about it. I woke up the guts to tell Amanda what happened. And she said, yeah, I'm sorry. Tyler told me already. I wanted to hear it from you. What are you guys, 11? So this man is parading around the fact that he kissed me but won't even speak to me. As you guys are so in, this is a very young email. This is all very immature. This is kind of crazy. But he won't even speak to me as he... sorry, this was graphic at times. But I have... Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, you guys are really young.
Well, she said student discount, so... college.
Okay, I'm going to give you this.
Community college based off the...
Okay.
the email's word.
Okay. So that was like, I've read a little bit into the end of the email, and I'm going to say this to you right now. I'm going to say this with so much love. Thank you so much for being a tier 2 girly. Don't ever send shit like that again. This is Advice Podcast. You know that... You made it extra long because you knew it didn't have any substance. I mean, there's the gist of it is you made out with a guy in a beanbag. He was a bad kisser. He told you not to tell anybody, which, by the way, is crazy. You're absolutely gorgeous. I'm not going to take that away from you. You're beautiful. He kind of looks like Timothée Chalamet in like an uglier way. And he told people you guys kissed. This is a very like 18-year-old email, and I don't mean to take that away, but like, listen, let's do this. Do you hear the other girl? Her and her boyfriend are looking for an MMF situationship on Grindr, sweetheart. Okay, I don't need bad kisses on a fucking beanbag. Okay, let's have fun. And so when you're ready to get absolutely destroyed by this man, and then email me in. Okay, do it when you're tell me when you figure out that you're bisexual and you don't realize it. Okay, you know what the next email thing is? Rehab romances always fail. We're gonna move on to that. Enjoy Paris, and if you can't afford the Patreon, don't worry. You can't handle what we're talking about on there anyways. But like I said, you are absolutely gorgeous, and you will get older and look back and say this was so silly. And I love you so much, and I'm being mean for it to be funny because I had no substance in your email to make fun of it. Do you think that was too mean to her? I know she's young.
No.
Okay, and I'm sending you so much love, sweetheart. Okay. This is called Rehab Romances Always Fail. Hi, Dylan. If you're reading this, thank you. I so value your opinion. And just to throw it in there, I'm a tier 1 girly, except last month when my card got declined. No worries, Chica. It happens to all of us. Also, I so appreciate you being genuine and talking about your struggles with your appearance. Ew, okay. No problem. Thank you so much for talking to me about how gross you think you are, Dylan. That is so helpful. No, I get what you're saying. It's so relatable and nice to hear you talk about that because it's so real. This one's actually long. As you saw from the title of my email, I recently had a failed relationship with a man that I met in rehab. I met him when I was 22, but we didn't reconnect until I was 24. We started off as such great friends because we were so close, even though he's in New York. We started talking in April 2024, but didn't start dating until January 2025. The whole relationship was pretty chaotic. That's, I feel like, pretty like when you're an addict, it's always chaotic, but also great because we could talk about anything and everything. Unfortunately, his addiction ruined my plans for me to see him and then him to see me twice because he relapsed. I can admit I'm a pretty dramatic and emotional person with my own problems, but he really liked to mess with me. For months, I had a fake number where he posed as a fake guy asking for nudes just to see if I'd send. This was before we even started dating. I didn't find out the fake number was him until he blocked his real number. He used the fake one to tell me that our friend Jeff was going to relapse unless I talked to him. Unfortunately, I have daddy issues and he's 20 years older, and in January he actually did visit me, but I feel like I achieved something because I chased him all summer. Plus, I have very few friends and recently moved out of my parents. Okay, that is really bad that he was tricking you with a fake number trying to get nudes, and then you only found out because your friend Jeff was about to relapse and he needed to contact you. I mean, and by the way, and you found out before you guys started dating. Why would you date this man? He was trying to get nudes from you without actually asking. That's like such addict behavior to be like lying and tricking. Wow. We broke up because when he came, that's really bad. Why are you guys putting up with stuff like this? We broke up because when he came down for my birthday weekend, he was using and then detoxed on my actual birthday. Everything went south. You don't have. I know that you guys are both addicts, or maybe I don't know. Since you met in rehab, but. Just because someone's an addict and going through addiction, all this stuff, and you have a really good connection, doesn't mean that you have to be in this like crazy toxic. Like already, the second you found out about the pictures, you should have cut this person off. Can I tell you something that friends don't do? Trick their friends into nudes. That's not like an actual thing. So you should maybe look into like what a friendship actually is, and also you should never be friends with a 20-year-old or a straight man who's 20 years older than you. Let's see. Everything went south. I knew the situation was going into it, and he was sick when I picked him up. So, of course, I got drunk and was messy the first night. The second night, he was even worse. I got drunk and basically tried to force him to tell me that he loved me. And he later threw a glass of water at me, so I cried.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. You guys are bad addicts. Okay, this is so bad. By the way, I love the sentence, I got drunk and tried to force him to tell him that he loved me. I think that is so funny. There's I remember I used to listen to Nikki Glaser's podcast, and she told the funniest story that she this is like years and years and years ago, where she told she used to get really drunk with her boyfriend, and then he would black out every single night, and he wouldn't tell her that he loved her. So she waited until the next morning when they like woke up, and she was like, "Do you remember what you said to me last night?" And he was like, "No." And she was like, "You told me that you loved me." And he was like, "I do." I just love that story. I did eventually bring that up that night, and he said he wasn't good with his emotions, which I knew. 2 weeks later, he's still struggling with getting off completely and has a lot going on at work and family. I say, let's take a break. He's happy. He says he needs 4 weeks to get himself together. What I didn't know is that he also took what I said as let's break up, because a few days later, he tells me he can't date. I understand. I'm sad. He made it seem like we had something. He mentioned moving in and going on vacations together. Addicts lie. Your boyfriend, this guy's a liar. You know. By the way, he lied about how he felt to me. He lied about who he was to try to get nudes from you. Wake up, bitch. I mean, this is crazy. He told me how he'd say how happy he'd when we met my parents. They were obviously not happy. I was dating a guy from rehab who was 20 years older. I even took the train and then the metro into New York City, which I was so nervous about to be able to do to take him to his surgery. When he joked to the nurse I was his fiance. He's back in rehab. He called me last week. When I didn't pick up, his brother texted me. Also, his brother literally called me sis. I know fiance and sis was a joke, but I just wanted to be long-term thing that felt like a confirmation that things were good. You need therapy. You should be in therapy or some type of group program, because this is... What do you want from this guy? He's 20 years older than you. He keeps relapsing. He tried to get nudes from you from a fake number before you started dating. He breaks up with you immediately, ruined your birthday. What part of him is good for you and that you like? You guys think you have this like solar system connection. You don't, okay? This is fake. And you like toxicity. Just throwing it out there. You went to New York City to bring him to your surgery. You want to feel important in this relationship. You're a little codependent. I really miss him. What do you miss? But I also get pissed off when he texts me, asks me how I'm doing. It sucks not having him to call every single day. Any words of wisdom? Block him. Thought, is he hot? He wasn't rich, but he was sweet and did buy me Botox and lips. Oh my God, honey. I never wanted him to think I was his money because he wasn't rich. Well, then you're not there for the money because he doesn't have it. But we could have really good conversation and be best friends and also have great sex. None of that's true. You're making that up in your mind. You're not best friends. Best friends don't fuck each other and ruin each other's birthdays. I'd send it back when he'd Apple Cash me. One funny thing I did was let him give me money for videos of me sucking on popsicles and bananas. Oh yeah, that's usually what people with their friends do with each other. Hey, that's what I always text my best friend Nissa. I go, will you send me videos of you fucking sucking on popsicles and bananas for money? That's crazy. I too struggle with eating issues. So I'd make him send me extra so I could buy sugar-free popsicles. Okay. I'm there with you, chica. The bananas were actually better because they don't melt, though. Way less messy. Unfortunately, one time I was texting him and my mom at the same time, and I sent the video to my mom. And that's a sign that you shouldn't be doing this at all, sweetheart. There's nothing wrong with sending people videos of you sucking on popsicles and bananas, but like, you know, an addict that ruined your birthday who is like using you and tricked you with a fake number to get sex, or that is crazy. I was able to unsend, but I got that little alert that said if another device didn't have an update iMessage that they'd still get it. I live an hour away from my parents, so at 10 o'clock I had to call and say I was so depressed I just needed to see them so I could get into my mom's Mac computer and check to see if it was there. Good thing I did, because if she looked on her work computer, she would have seen her daughter in a bra giving head to a half frozen banana. Okay. Yeah. And by the way, you doing that and driving an hour to see your mom and to break into her, that is such addict behavior. You are sick. You need to be going to, I don't even barely go to meetings. You need to go to a meeting, sweetheart. P.S. I'd sent him so many of your TikToks and he thought you were so funny. So, so he's got good taste. Yeah, I'm fucking hilarious, but that has nothing to do with, don't tell me he thinks I'm funny to try to get me to be endearing towards whatever slob I'm about to look at. But check out the hideous necklace he gave me. I'm almost positive it was a re-gift from an old girlfriend because he cleaned it out of the closet. Yeah, okay. Come to DC. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, whoa.
What is it?
Yeah, a picture of him. It's a real jump scare. By the way, this is her. Absolutely Gorgina. Gorgeous, yeah. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Gorgeous. You see her? Yeah. Jump scare.
Oh my God. He looks like somebody drew a person.
Yeah, he does look like a fake person. Yeah. Honey, I'll be honest. This is a guy that I probably would hook up with as well. But like, yeah, there's sorry. Oh, he's cute. No, there was other pictures. Okay. You're way too pretty for him. You're way too pretty for him. That's just what it's going to have to be, sweetheart. Yeah, this is absolutely insane. That please read this back and think of all of, if this is the kind of relationship that you want to have. You don't have a really crazy spiritual connection with this man. You are dating an addict, and you're an addict, and this type of stuff feels very exciting. And it's like electricity and all this shit, but like it's not real. I mean, the fact that you're still like, what do you think I should do? I think if you think that this is normal, should be in an insane asylum. Am I wrong? I mean, like, Ariel, would you ever do anything in this email?
No.
Do you think she should date this guy?
No.
Why not, Ariel?
He sounds terrible.
He sounds terrible. And and you put it in there. He's not rich, but he bought you Botox and lips. Botox and lips are not that expensive, sweetheart. Okay, and you're the type of pretty that could get a rich guy. So stop wasting your time. You're actually keeping yourself at a lower, like you are not going to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish in this life because you are dilly-dallying with people who are going to make your life harder, worse, and not as fun. These are the type of people that come into your life to ruin it. Okay, this is somebody that if you really love him and you really want to be in a connection relationship with him, then do not date him for a year. You can't date him until he's like at least a year sober, because this relapsing stuff, I mean, like, if you really want to be with him, I'm not going to sit here and say like, no, don't be with him. I mean, you'll ruin your own life if you're going to continue doing it. I would say if you're meant to be together, make sure that he's been sober for a year and then see if it's there. My guess is if you wait a year, you'll find somebody else who's more appropriate, but you're also an addict. So maybe you enjoy this thrill of not drinking and drugs anymore, but like the drama that these types of relationships and people bring into you. You're still getting a dopamine release from the crazy toxicity of it all. So just remember, you're still like doing addict behavior as well. But like I said, you know, it's your life. You can choose to do whatever you want from it. This would send me into a spiral nightmare. But yeah, what are we at time-wise?
52.
Let's move over to the Patreon. I feel like there's a lot of really good emails I want to read, but yeah, I think they're going to be better for the Patreon. So if you guys want to join and no student discounts, I would say move over to the Patreon. We'll see you there. It is $5 a month, y'all. Okay, we'll see you there. Bye.